This is Algebra 1, Lesson 6.1, Graphing and Solving One-Step Inequalities. So just as a reminder of the inequality symbols, the first one is a less than symbol, and if it's simply less than, when you graph it on a number line, you use an open circle. The same thing with the second one, a greater than symbol is an open circle. Now if they put a bar below the less than or greater than symbol, you read that less than or equal to, and that's when you close the circle. That's saying the number it's on is also included in the solution. And the same thing for greater than or equal to. Let's go ahead and practice graphing a couple inequalities. All right, so normally you want to start by identifying 0. So put 0 there, and we're looking for -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's -4 on our number line. This one does not have a bar, so we want an open circle. We don't want to include -4 in our solution, and it's all numbers that are greater than, so we want to go towards the right. And usually you shade in the arrow too. The second one is a less than, and it's -13. So again, we're going to identify the 0. Oops. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. -13. This one again is an open circle because there's not a bar included, and this is all numbers less than -13, so we're going to shade to the left. Whichever way that arrow is pointing, we're going to shade that way. If they don't have the variable on the left-hand side, I always flip it. It's easier to read. So I'm going to flip this whole thing on number 3. So I put the T first, I put the 0 second. When I flip it, I have to flip the sign too. So this time it's going to be all numbers that are greater than or equal to 0. So again, I identify 0 on my number line. This time I'm going to have a closed circle because there's the bar. It means 0 is included in our solution set. And it's all numbers that are greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to shade to the right, whichever way it's pointing. Same thing this one. Let's go ahead and flip it so it's easier to graph. So I flip the K and the -10, and this time it's less than or equal to. So I identify 0, usually on my number line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. -10 on my number line. It's going to be a closed circle because -10 is included in my solution, and it's all numbers that are less than. If it says x is not equal to 0 or 3, we identify where 3 is. Here's 0, 1, 2, 3. Here's 3. We know it's an open circle because it's not included, and it's any number except 3. So we shade to the left and we shade to the right. Now we're going to do just the opposite. We're going to write the inequality. So this one is telling us all numbers that are less than 5. 5 is not included. So use whatever variable you like. I'll just use x. X is less than 5. This one is all numbers greater than or equal to. You could see the circle is shaded, so we're allowed to include that. So all numbers greater than, whichever way it's shaded, we're pointing that way. -7. This is one of those tricky ones. Any number except -10 is going to be an answer for us. So we're going to say as long as x is not equal to -10, we're good to go. Here we go. This one's an open circle, so we know we're not going to use that equal to sign. So we want numbers that are all greater than, bigger than 1, but not including 1. And here we go again. It's less than. This time it's shaded in, so we know we're going to use that bar, -24. Let's go ahead and solve a couple one-step inequalities. Okay, you can see there's some addition, there's some subtraction. It's just like solving equations. We're going to do the inverse operation. So if they add, we subtract. If they subtract, we add. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 8 from each side. So I get x is greater than or equal to 10. We know how to do that. We're going to shade in the circle because there's the equal to sign, and we're going to shade to the right. Okay, this one, there's a -16, so we're going to do the inverse operation. We're going to add 16. Oh, what's that? 2, 12, it looks like -12. And we're going to flip the whole thing so it's easier to read. flip the variable and the number, and I change my sign. So this time I want all numbers, not including 12, that are greater than negative 12. All right, let's look at some multiplication and division. They're dividing, so you know that means we're going to multiply. They divide by 5, we multiply by 5. So it looks like n is less than or equal to 10. We know how to do that. We go to 10 on the number line. We shade it in because it's a bar, and we want to shade, to the left because it's less than. And they're multiplying here, so we divide. We divide each side by 4. It looks like x is greater than or equal to negative 5. So we have to find negative 5 on our number line. It's going to be a closed circle because there's an equal to sign, and they want greater, so we're going to shade to the right. All right. There's one little trick we have to be careful about. That's when you have a negative. If you're multiplying or dividing by a negative sign, you have to flip the sign. Don't forget to do that. Be on the lookout for that, okay? So this one, they're multiplying by negative 4, so we divide by negative 4. No big deal. And that's negative 4, but be careful because we're dividing by a negative. We've got to flip that sign. So we're going to have an open circle, and we want all numbers that are less than negative 4. This one, they're dividing by negative 3, so we know we're going to multiply by negative 3. Boom, we get n by itself. We get a positive 9, but we have to remember to flip that sign. So we want all numbers that are greater than 9. All right, please try the practice problems. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.